and welcome to Conversations with the Captains as part of our ATR TV. And today we have with us Mr. Rajeev Chaba, President and Managing Director, MG Motor India. Mr. Chaba, so good to have you with us.
Thank you, Deepangshu.
And you're almost set to launch the first product in the market, the Hector SUV, at a time when the industry itself is facing serious challenges in terms of sales and demand for our products. How are you preparing yourself for this product launch?
Yeah, so actually, as the luck would have been, we happen to be launching in this month. And you're right, the industry is pretty down. But because it's a new product and there are always some customers who want to give it a try. Also, I must say that we are getting pretty good response right now to the kind of new technology, new features we are giving. So there's a lot of interest, a lot of buzz. We have not declared the pricing yet, so it's difficult to say how much of this enthusiasm will convert into numbers. But as you know that we started booking few days back. Now we are doing the test drives with the media journalists, and price announcement should happen in the next 10 days or so, and deliveries will start end of this month. So I think for the first 2-3 months production already is kind of booked within few days of the booking. So I'm not that much bothered about the situation of the industry in general at this point of time. Also, I believe that we all go through the cycle. Now with the elections over, stable government there, mood should start getting better, sentiments should improve, though there are a lot of global and local issues too, and especially the financing side, I think it's tough. But I would like to believe that by September or so, things will start changing and improve. The last quarter, I feel, October, November, December should be a bumper quarter because of the whole change from BS4 to BS6 and the price increases. What would happen in BS6, especially on the diesel side, will ensure, I think, a good market in Q4.
Right. You've undertaken a fairly aggressive marketing campaign too, because it's also the launch of a brand in the market. How much of that has really helped you to kind of attract customers in the market?
See, I would say thanks to the team, it has been a pretty sustainable and content-driven campaign since the last 9-10 months, especially on the social media, and the investment all primarily has been into the digital side. And thanks to the content again, because content is the king. On Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, we have got good traction, and YouTube also. Sorry. So the kind of engagement what we have seen, I think is pretty interesting. The kind of stickiness to our handles, even to our website, is probably one of the best in the industry. And again, it's because of the fact probably we are new, the guys have curiosity, they want to know. But also, I would say some of the events, the way they have been executed, the tech event was a new of its kind, I would like to believe. Nobody has done that in the country. So the internet car, the Hector, it aroused its own curiosity. Even the unveiling in Mumbai was slightly different. Then MG Anthem to rally the troops, again, is a new thing with an automotive brand. So I think with these new concepts, new kinds of events, more of an experience kind of a thing for everyone, is keeping us in the news, I would say. So marketing has done a pretty good job. The product is out now. Customers can look at the product at the dealerships. They won't be able to take test drive right now, but test drives will happen in the next week or so. And then you guys are able to drive the car now. So I think even the product will probably be able to live up to its expectation, and we look forward to a good conversion and good experience and good reviews by journalists and as well as by the customers, hopefully in future.
Right. The Drive.in event that you did in April was, of course, a very innovative concept, and probably the first time where we actually saw tech companies coming together in one platform. Do you see this as some kind of a transition from the way we actually know tier 1 suppliers to be?
Yeah, actually we always we always took them as partners in this whole ecosystem, because when you are trying to bring something new, you can't do everything on your own. Obviously, relationships with the vendors for mainstream components have always been there, but we brought them into the mainstream this time in the Tech Summit, and these are all global players. I think they deserve their place, and without their support, frankly, we can't do the kind of experimentation we are doing. It like even voice recognition or the maps, and we are not talking, just maps locally developed, or we are talking about the smart maps. We are talking about the global technology into those maps. So again, there is a fine difference between an ordinary map and a real-time map. Within real-time maps, real-time map and smart maps. So that kind of thing. When you're doing it, I think we need to give assurance to consumer that we are tying up with the best in the world. So Cisco as a platform, Microsoft, and then TomTom. These are all global players, and they're investing billions of dollars in technology for car in future. So if these are your partners for MG Hector in India, I'm sure that should give some kind of a confidence and assurance to consumer, because in any case we are new and the guys would be wondering that what kind of company we are in. So even I think that ecosystem, that support system provides some kind of confidence. So I think it makes sense for us to bring them on the stage and let them talk to consumer, or let them talk to other stakeholders, telling them what they are doing to help us launch the car here in the country.
Absolutely. So like I said, that's been a great start. The very fact that you've been communicating to the world that this is India's first internet car, right, with internet inside as a symbol that you've actually put in the vehicle. But it's also about product, right? It's also about the entire product. You are looking at offering a differentiated customer experience with the Hector. What's the kind of testing that has happened on the Hector so as to give customers that confidence that, okay, this product is going to age well?
Yeah. So you see, everything is about product to start with and to end with. Rest everything is augmentation, and people not take certain things for granted, right? So as I'm sure you have driven the car today, and you would have seen yourself, in terms of comfort, ride, handling, space, boot space, braking, fuel efficiency, I would like to believe is the best in the segment, right? In terms of fit, finish, the quality of material, the touch, feel, gaps, panel gaps, it's not less than anyone in that segment, or maybe better than some of the upper segments. So I think the car looks great from all the dimensions, when you look at the product. Now comes the second part, which is, what about the product assurance? Now, product assurance means handling some issues, and very gracefully you said aging. So what about quality, reliability, durability, resale price? Those are the questions which consumers are going to ask. So I would say, we are handling these issues step at a time. Marketing, I think, have done their job. Product, the engineers have done their job, and now in terms of after-sales experience, in terms of customer dealer handling, that's the next stage which you need to counter. Now, in terms of making sure that consumers are going to have a good time for years, these cars have been extensively testing in all kind of road conditions and weather conditions in India. So we put almost 40 cars. And they have been getting tested since last 1 year or so. And overall, I think by now we have covered more than 12 lakhs kilometers, right? So you name a place, like the extreme place, from Ladakh to desert temperature in Rajasthan, the cars have been tested. Not only this MG Hector, even our EV, electric vehicle product, has been tested and getting tested right now as we speak in those conditions. So that's absolutely important, because the local validation is so critical, because we have all kind of terrains, potholes, and road conditions that you cannot just depend on foreign validation in some other countries. Though for some extreme cold conditions and extreme hot conditions, sometimes you test the car outside also. But I think the bad road package or the bad weather package, everything has to be done for India and tested in India. So that's also we have done it here.
Excellent. So now that you've talked about the Hector and all the necessary steps that you're taking to ensure that customers are assured of a quality product. Could you also talk about the various possibilities with the Hector from a powertrain perspective? We know that you're offering three.
Yeah.
But how is the future? How does the future?
So we are starting with a pretty good lineup, I would say, especially if you compare it with respect to competition in this segment. As you know, the volumes are not that great in this segment, so that's why you get limited. But I think within that, we are doing pretty okay. So we start with a good turbo petrol engine.
Right.
We have a turbo diesel engine. And petrol engine, we have got good hybrid. So 48-volt hybrid, mild hybrid is the first time in the country somebody is getting it. And again, that reeks of technology, and that's the kind of image we want to give, frankly, that mild hybrid, 48-volt mild hybrid can be a good alternative to diesel.
Right.
So this is pretty environmental friendly. You improve your fuel efficiency while reducing your emissions. Also, it gives you an eco boost wherever you need some more power to, let's say, take off or to overtake. So that kind of offering we are giving it. On automatic transmission, we are giving DCT, and arguably probably that form of automatic transmission is probably one of the best. Though, obviously there is between MT and DCT, or between MT and automatic in general, people have to choose between the convenience versus peppiness. So that kind of limitation is there in automatic. But I think more and more people are going for more comfort and convenience in today's world because of the traffic what we have,
Sure.
on our roads. So we are giving the DCT option on petrol. Yes, one thing is missing right now, which is automatic transmission on diesel. Now, because of very quick change over from BS4 to BS6 in the next 9-10 months, you have to choose like where all you want to invest. So it didn't make business case to invest for DCT or automatic transmission in BS4, so we have not done that. In future, it all depends on the movement of petrol and diesel ratio. In fact, as we speak, petrol is gaining a lot. And even in this segment, which is high-end SUV, people are going more and more for petrol.
Right.
So time will tell if there is a substantial demand for automatic and diesel as we go forward. Next business case will bring that.
Okay. We also had this discussion previously about the kind of potential that you have with turbo GDI, right? So is that something that we can expect?
You remember that? I forgot that I told you. So you're right. That's a good option to replace diesel. And that's why Europeans generally and other manufacturers are going for GDI, because that's the evolution of petrol engine, and because of the rising cost of diesel engine, especially when you go for BS6 and especially phase 2 of BS6, which is RD, the real-time driving conditions in 2023. I think we can bet on what kind of numbers are going to be there in diesel. So GDI engines are they make more sense actually, though the price of GDI also is kind of as good as diesel, means as high as diesel, but then it offers lots of advantages on fuel efficiency, the environmental friendliness, peppiness of the petrol, and things like that. So initially it's going to be costly. Consumers will take some time to accept that kind of price for GDI engine, but I think that's a great option, and especially again in 2023 kind of time frame, I think GDI engine should become a big part of a normal automotive portfolio, right? Frankly, so we also have the capability. In fact, as we speak, we have a lot of capacities being built up on GDI engine. I cannot tell you at this point of time whether MG Hector would have GDI engine or not, but in our portfolio, definitely we would have GDI.
Excellent. So you've also announced that your next product is going to be an EV. You talked about that being currently tested in Indian conditions. So you're probably one of those few manufacturers who believe in both hybrids as well as EVs. So do you see this as a natural progression for the?
So we are lucky and fortunate that we have the capability and we have the technology and we can bring it fast. And also we need to do something different because we are a newcomer here, and it's difficult to position yourself and be successful in such kind of very competitive market where 2 or 3 players have 70% market share.
Right.
So we feel innovation and technology and good consumer experience at reasonable price is probably a good bet. So that's why we started with internet car on Hector and hybrid powertrain. But EV, as you know, that globally governments are supporting the EV initiative, and that's the future. And even in India, I think in terms of noise, in terms of the right sound bites, the government also is talking a lot. Though still it's a long way to go, and infrastructure has to develop. But we thought it will be a good idea to bring our capabilities and show consumers that hey, we are there in that space already. So in fact, not only this year, last year we imported few cars, EVs, and we did the testing on the Indian roads. Especially, we didn't want to miss the last Indian summer, so that we know about the battery issue, and that's why we decided that instead of air-cooled battery, we probably need liquid water-cooled battery, and battery management system needs to be different for India. So we got a good learning last year, and so this year we are ready with the new battery management system, and we are testing our EZS, what we are going to launch. So as we speak, in our Halol plant, we have already made 2 prototypes, and they are being tested as we speak. So EV may not give us huge volumes to start with, because this whole market will evolve, and infrastructure has to keep pace. But we are going to be there, up in the front for the EV market.
So that's a great commitment that you're making to the market.
Yeah, for sure. And in fact, thanks to our management, who agreed to do this, and we expect that government also supports this whole initiative. And right now, though they are talking about different policies in FAME and not very friendly policies towards the private consumption, government has probably priorities, and they have to allocate scarce resources in their fashion, what they feel is good. But I feel that at this stage, when you are starting from scratch, you need to think of in a much wider scope of things. You have to think, and you have to think the larger issues, not really start putting a lot of conditions in the start.
Right. You said at the beginning that you're hopeful that sales would start picking up, hopefully by the end, towards the fourth quarter.
August, September, I feel should be
should be good time. But from a Hector's perspective, again, we drove the car today, of course. Congratulations on putting together 2 brilliant products, for sure.
Thank you.
I wanted to know more from a customer perspective. You've worked significantly on NVH, for instance. Can you give us a sense of the kind of engineering that's gone into it? What have you done to ensure that the NVH levels, both on your petrol as well as diesel Hectors, have been controlled?
So actually, obviously it starts with benchmarking, right? So you start with what exactly is there on the Indian roads right now, and then whom do you benchmark with, and then you decide that where you want to be best at, where you want to be equal to competition, and in certain places where you see, hey, guys, customers don't care, so here you can be a little bit okay. So you basically, as part of your marketing strategy on the product side, you decide where you want to be best at. So in certain areas we said, listen, we have the capability, and we must be good in ride, handling, NVH, braking, fuel efficiency, that we need to be the best in the segment. NVH was one part of that, because in terms of giving the overall comfort to the consumer, whether through good automatic transmission, which is DCT, or good space in the back seat, which is again the best in the segment, noise is another part of the comfort in our opinion. So that's why we, in terms of all the insulations on the pillars, ABC, as well as in the engine bay, we took extra effort for that finer insulations to make sure that the noise coming from outside is reduced. Not only that, but also even the way noise gets transmitted from the road to the car, through various positions. Also, you make sure about the right insulation. So NVH was one of the considered areas to ensure that we are the best in the segment. So lots of guys, especially our Indian engineers, played a very, very important role in our plant in Halol. You met our Chief Technology Officer also, and he himself played a very important role in ensuring that.
Okay. My final question is, Chaba, possibilities within the Hector, do we see a 7-seater coming up soon?
Yes, sir. That should happen. In BS6, we would be introducing 7 and 8 seater. Though technically, I must say that we won't be able to call 7 or 8. So it's basically 3 rows of seats. So we'll have a combination of 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3 plus 3 plus 2, and 3 and so I'm sorry, 2 plus 3 plus 2 and 2 plus 2 plus 2. The last seat, as you know, as per regulation, you need to have a particular width to call it officially 3-seater. So we do not conform to that width. So technically it's only 2-seater. So that's why we are not going to call it 7-seater. It will be a 6-seater,
Okay.
but you have captain seats in between
Okay.
and 3-seater. So.
Okay. And like you said, your BS6 products will start rolling out by the end of this year?
So there will be a cadence because we have so many powertrains, so everything cannot start BS6 from the day one. But end of December onwards, we should be rolling out BS6 products in a particular sequence. So.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chaba.
Thanks a lot, Deepangshu.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.